trust,
grounded,
experimentation,
connected,
grassroots,
human,
local,
boldness,
hopeful.
So when we started the Phoenix project, we intentionally designed it so that it was looking at multiple sectors and multiple entry points: the environment and sustainability, the economy specifically, and capital and finance, as well as democracy and power. And what was attractive about holding a project around a just transition to a new economy is it's an integrative frame. It's a way to combine the depth of knowledge within sectors under a framework that gives you a lot more flexibility.
It's to really think about what are the parallel paths that we could all be taking and practicing together to break down silos and set ourselves up to not just pass good reform policies, but start to target and change structures altogether to address core root problems. That there's just a different relationship that we need between the economy and our lives. And at the end of the day, I think new economy work or a just transition to a new economy needs to be in coordination, and it needs to be with a group of people that are willing to practice it and take action together.
I think the best way to engage is to look at how they can better support system thinking, and any other, whatever the entry area is, to support activities that actually are lead toward these goals. It's a holistic economy that takes care of people and the planet. And that is the center of it, and the economic activity and any other auxiliary thing. It's on service of our humanity and Mother Nature. It can be from a finance perspective or from a business perspective. All these systems live aside the other, and so how they connect are part of this, creating a system that works for all of us.
Philanthropy is one of the places where a lot of the socially created wealth in the world is concentrated. Those concentrations can play a role in helping to recreate an opportunity for people to themselves capable of being sufficient, or the concentration can seek to preserve its own power that comes from being concentrated there. Is how can we put those resources back into a community under the control of those communities? I think that's what we should be looking toward doing. And if you do that, then the need to hold on to this concentration is not perpetual. It's not actually that philanthropy is full of geniuses, and certainly some very smart people, but there's genius all around us. And a lot of that genius is stifled by lack of access to the very resources that we sit on and hold, as though we alone are capable of figuring out how they're best used in the interest of community.
I think it'll take me probably the rest of my life to fully digest and process everything I've learned, but I think it has fundamentally shifted the way in which I'm approaching the work. And I think because there are so many smart people in this cohort has really influenced me at a very deep level, and I'll never quite look at the work the same way again.
I think what is happening here with Project Phoenix is an example of a different way of approaching conversations within philanthropy that are about really having discourse, really pushing folks to talk about where there's commonality and when there's differences, and really having it be about a group of folks building relationships and trust together to have those conversations over a sustained period of time. I think that's critical, and maybe in philanthropy more than any other space, because for the amount of power that we hold, for us to not make a habit of examining the assumptions on which our practice is based, I think has been honestly quite destructive in a lot of ways. So it seems to me absolutely critical. We need more of this. We need more conversations like this where we're not just figuring out what our grant docket looks like this year. We're not just thinking about what work we want to fund, but we're actually taking a step back and saying, wait a minute, how do we want to fund it? Why is it important that we do it that way? And what is our role? What does it look like now? And what should it look like in the future?
Project Phoenix has had immense impact on my thinking around the new economy and the work of the Solutions Project. And that change and shift has spawned from the opportunity to sit with many of the best thinkers in our sector around how to make philanthropic investments or use philanthropic instruments to drive change towards a new and next economy. And so coming out of Project Phoenix and really holding true those relationships is going to be really key.
Coming into this space, having Project Phoenix over this last year is a place where I can meet up with other funders to learn about new economy, how it links to climate justice, how it links to democratizing capital. And being able to take the learning from a number of my colleagues who've been doing this work has been invaluable for us and helped us to reshape our strategy in a way that we hope will be more effective. We know that when we work together collectively, when we can step a little bit back outside of our comfort zone of particular issue sets, then there are more possibilities. So if we can look at intersectionality and come together around a broader lens, then we can engage and have the impact we want to have on the issues we care about.
Creating a space that's intentional to dive down deep and talk about really big ideas in real places and loosen up the silos we carry within philanthropy in the way that we've done with Project Phoenix at a level where you can actually challenge each other is incredibly powerful. If you're not in a space like this, create one. Create one where you can bring different people that you don't necessarily engage with and let yourself be challenged and ask more questions.
So I think what I would say is that Project Phoenix has built a super intentional community of folks, of practitioners who are rooted in social justice and movement, who are super bold, and we need other folks to join us. We need your leadership. We can't do this alone. And I think if we're able to come together around this bold vision of a new economy and root ourselves in social justice and movement, then we can actually win and achieve what we've set out to do.